Welcome to Soulful Conversations with Nadjejda. I'm Nadjejda Chapoteau. I'm a certified empowerment and authenticity coach. I help purpose-driven women coaches and online entrepreneurs find their message and their niche so they can book their dream client. I do this by helping them reconnect with their true selves, embrace their true selves, and share their message boldly with the world. I am so excited about my guest today. Today I have with me a fellow Haitian American woman, Manushkka Sainvil. She's an entrepreneur in the natural hair space. She created a natural hair butter that delivers dehydration or hair needs while also educating clients on natural hair. She uses her platform to educate and empower her clients so they can embrace their natural curls, kinks, and locks. Thank you for joining me today, Manushka.
Thank you for having me, Nadjejda. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. So great. So tell me, what made you choose to create this product, which is called Chubby Curls? I got that
Yes. Shameless plug, Chubby Curls Hair Butter.
Okay.
So I reached a tipping point in my natural hair journey where when I went natural in 2005, I wore a bun every day. It didn't matter if I was going to work, if I was going out with friends, if it was a wedding, a black tie event, or if I was going to the gym. I just put it in a bun because honestly, I didn't know what else to do with it. So I finally reached a tipping point, and I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I said, I'm going to go crazy if I don't find some other way to style my hair. I'm sure that I can do something else with my hair other than just wear it in a bun or straighten it, because at that point in time, that was the only other alternative that I had, was to straighten it. And I really wanted to try to stay away from heat damage. So she said, oh, check out YouTube. They have tutorials and people can show you how to do different tips and tricks and things. And that opened up the floodgates. It was a good Pandora's box. I was literally digesting YouTube video after video after video and picking up really cool tricks and techniques and on different styles. And at the same time, I was burning through the Target because I was picking up so many different products because everyone was recommending something different. And I thought, okay, let me try to save a little money and just make something myself with just sort of basic ingredients that I can go ahead and just use because I'm doing so much practicing and washing my hair out and reapplying. So I kind of was able to, I became a little bit of a mad scientist and started doing research and began concocting different formulas in my kitchen, and eventually I found a recipe that I was pretty happy with in terms of the consistency and the application and the way it felt, the way it left my hair feeling, and Chubby Curls was born.
Great. Now, that's awesome. Now tell me, how did you, so I know it seems like you were looking for something for your hair. How did you choose to take the leap from doing something for yourself to putting yourself out there and actually offering it in terms of selling it to others?
It really was just born out of understanding that there were other women that were experiencing that same frustration, with, okay, I've gone natural, now what? So they were embracing having natural hair, and that's the first step. But the second, there are many steps to it. You have to, number one, understand what kind of natural are you going to be. Am I going to be a lazy natural? And I don't even like to use the word lazy, but am I going to be sort of like a low manipulation natural where you do wash and goes, you don't need to spend more than maybe 20 minutes on your hairstyle? Or are you going to be like myself, like a high manipulation natural, which is someone who enjoys doing flexi rods and flat twists and perm rods? So I understood, okay, I'm going to be in the high maintenance camp, high manipulation camp. And that helps me to identify which way I was going to go. And I had to learn about my hair in the process. And I think that is the piece that a lot of naturals just need to understand, is that you have to do your own hair homework to find out what works for you.
Yeah. No, I love how you talked about the low maintenance and the high maintenance, because it's very true. Like, I don't know, for me, I think I'm sort of in the middle. I wouldn't really call it low, but I wouldn't really call it high. But I know people where I know somebody like she's like, I went natural, so then I didn't have to do much with my hair. So
That's
she's
it.
definitely on the low maintenance one. So totally get that. Yeah. So tell me now, did you experience any fears putting yourself out there as an entrepreneur?
I I think initially at my very first show, despite being really excited and setting up my table and having my friends there to support me, I did have a little fear that people would just kind of walk by and ignore me because
Mhm.
people gravitate toward what's comfortable or what's familiar. And so if you have this new chick with some product that you've never heard of, chubby curls, what the heck is chubby curl? With chubby girls? I can't tell you how many people walk by and they say, chubby girls, what's chubby girls? No, not girls. So it's really it was a relief to be able to engage with people or to have people come and engage with me at my table and to be curious about my product and to purchase it. So
That's good. So tell me, what does it mean for you? I mean, in some way, how has it changed, transformed, maybe even empower you to have your own product that you not only use in your hair, but you also promote it and you sell it to other women in order for them to to really enjoy and like their hair. Like, I'm just curious, how has that transformed you in some way?
I would say that it's definitely the journey that I have had going from a bun, wrapping it up in a bun because I'm frustrated with it, I don't know what to do with it, and I'm always fighting with it, to oh my gosh, I'm celebrating it, and I can't wait to do my hair, and I can't wait to try some different style. Um, Having that along with the empowerment and the I guess courage is the right word that I feel with the momentum that I've gotten so far has really just made me kind of fearless in the pursuit because I just continue to do research. I continue to educate myself about what natural hair needs, and of course it's across the spectrum because we run the gamut from one end of the spectrum to the other in terms of color, in terms of texture, and in terms of thickness. And it's been very empowering is just, I hate to overuse the word, I'll think of something else, but
Oh
it
no,
has been
I mean you can use it. I mean it's empowering.
and to me it's fun. To me it's fun to learn and to be able to impart that and to share that and to see when the light bulb goes off, like, oh, that's why my hair is doing that, or oh, I should never have been doing that. I need to go ahead and do the opposite in my regimen, or I need to adopt this particular practice, and that's going to give me the kinds of results that I want to get. So it's really fun to share that knowledge and see other naturals have that moment where it clicks for them, where they say, "Oh my gosh, I never knew that. Okay, I'm going to try that."
Hmm. So tell me, as you know, my audience is very much, I'm all about empowering women, and my audience are pretty much women entrepreneurs. We're all about empowering them in different aspects and different areas of their lives. So I'm curious for you, what would you say in some way this journey, not only just having your own product, but also this the transition into natural and really figuring out how has it in some way boost up your self-esteem? Has it made you fully accept yourself, love yourself more the way you are?
Absolutely. I cannot tell you how challenging it was, how much of a what's the word I'm looking for? It was a blow to my self-esteem in some ways because my hair was relaxed when I was probably 11 years old, 10 or 11 years old. And it had been relaxed for over 20 years. And going natural was a very foreign concept. Compared to what I had been used to with long flowing hair. Like Whoopi Goldberg does her long, luxurious locks when she does her one woman show and she puts a t-shirt on her head. And I think all little girls have done that because, that's a standard of beauty that we aspired to. So when I had cut all of that off, and mind you, I had done it happily. I sprang out of bed the morning of my hair appointment to have it cut. because it was stringy, it was lifeless, it was dull, it was thinning, and I was just over it. And to me, I figured I have got nothing to lose and everything to gain. And so when I cut it, and at first it was very cute, very short, had a little bit of length in the front, but as it began to grow out and, the texture really, the true texture came out, I didn't know what to do with it. And I didn't feel pretty. The reality of it was I didn't feel pretty. And I did try to do things like wear statement jewelry. I would wear large earrings, or I would wear statement necklaces and costume jewelry to my saying was, well, I've got no hair, so I need more flair. And so I would use large pieces of jewelry in order to adorn myself, because I felt like, oh my gosh, I've got no hair. And it was definitely, I gotta say, I'm really proud of myself for doing that. That was one of the hardest things that I have ever done, to really challenge my own belief system about what is beautiful and how I define my own beauty. So it was definitely, I was in the trenches for a little bit, but as it grew, number one, but not only grew, became healthier. And once I was more informed and able to learn how to work with it instead of against it, I was off to the races. It was, and it's been fun ever since.
Yeah, no, definitely. So tell me, so it sounds to me, it's interesting that you brought up the word free, because I know for myself, when I went natural, that is exactly what I experienced. I experienced freedom to just be who I am, to get to wear my hair the way I want to wear it, because we can also go and get it blow dried and have a straight look if we want. So really, it's like, and you don't have to wait. There's no time in between. There's no, oh, I have to let it grow out, or I have to.
Right. Yeah, it was liberating, because I no longer felt like I am chasing this constant dangling carrot that continues to move, that I never catch in terms of, hair texture. I mean, when we first get it done, it's great and it's smooth and it's laid down. But after 2 or 3 months, 3 months was kind of my threshold where I had to get my relaxer done again. And I just got tired of chasing something that that I knew I was never going to get.
Okay. That's powerful. So tell me now, what would be your message to the woman who's looking at transitioning, but it's like, I don't know, I'm not sure. What would you say to her?
I can tell you, for me personally,
Black woman of color.
Right. I can tell you for me, it has been one of the most rewarding and challenging journeys. I mean, smooth seas never made a skillful sailor. So it definitely has been rough, but I am so glad that I did it. I can tell you, if this is on video, this is taped, recorded in perpetuity. It's on the internet. It's never going away. You can hold me to it. I will never relax my hair again. And again, with it being a personal decision.
Me too.
Right. So we're going to hold each other accountable.
No, for me, I have to say, I've never said, I don't know. I mean, it's only been it's been 5 years. I know you've been much longer, right?
It's been 12 years, 2005.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I don't miss it, even when sometimes it's a little bit frustrating. But I have to say, no.
But
I mean, there are times when I feel like, I wonder if I want to go get it blow dried, or I wish I knew how to do it, because in some ways, but you know what it is? I realized for me, when I got a little bit frustrated with it, is because I didn't have a haircut. But then I recently got a haircut, so I'm not.
Which was fabulous. I love the new haircut. The shape is fantastic. They did a really great job with you. Shout out to whoever cut your hair. Was it a diva cut?
It was a diva cut, yes. Yeah. And actually, I have to say, oh well, I have to keep it real. But yeah, when I saw my hairdresser, which a friend of a mutual friend recommended her to me. She was not a colored woman, and I was thinking, she was colored, but she wasn't black with natural hair like us. I was like,
they're kind of like, she doesn't know what she's doing. Oh my God.
But she did a great job. She did a great job. Because I was like, do you know how to cut my hair? But then, I see she does our friend's hair, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry to interrupt you. You were
no, that's okay.
Go for it.
Yeah, it was again, it was a very personal decision, and I like I said, my hair was thinning, it was damaged, and I decided that I was going to go natural because I wanted to suspend the damage. I wanted to stop damaging my hair and see what would happen if I no longer chemically relaxed it. So for me, I decided my natural journey involves not using hot tools as well, because hot tools can be damaging if used in excess. Everything in moderation, right? So it's not to say that I don't straighten my hair. It just happens that, in fact, the last time I straightened my hair was winter of 2014. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
When it gets a little cooler,
I'm October 2014, so we're right around,
Exactly. So you just have to be very clear about, I guess it's back to the original question, what would be my advice to other fellow naturals that are considering transitioning? I would absolutely say be very clear about what your goals are. My number one goal was to stop the damage, and I wanted to be very careful about not trading one form of damage for another by regularly regularly straightening my hair. And again, everything in moderation. So I think that that's really you have to identify what's your goal, and you have to take the time to educate yourself on your hair, what your hair is capable of doing, what your hair accepts, what your hair doesn't accept. So
no, what you said was, so going back to what you said about the high maintenance, because you got me thinking. When I went to get my hair, I went to get my hair cut. It was weird. These people were giving me all these steps, and I was like, wow, like they were like, this is how you treat a curly hair. Like they were telling me, and I was actually thinking how I know somebody who's like, what my friends who are like no maintenance, they would have been like, what is she telling me? Like they were telling me these things that it's like really, it's like our hair can be high maintenance too. Sometimes people think, oh yeah, I'm going natural, and then boom. I find sometimes I'm probably take more time than my girlfriends who are, once their hair is done, it's done.
Yeah, I dare say that at least on the days, some days it can take more time than when my hair was relaxed, because the drill. You got to wash your hair, you got to condition it, you got to roller set it, and maybe you get a blowout after you roller set it. So with me, it's I've got to wash it. I have to deep condition it. Deep conditioning is an absolute must in my regimen, particularly living in a dry climate as Colorado. It's just a necessity. It's required in order for our hair to remain healthy and to maintain that moisture balance. And then, if I'm feeling lazy, yeah, I'll throw it in a bun if, I don't have the time to do anything fancy. And if I've got time, then I'll pick some particular tool, whatever, it's a flexi rod or a perm rod, and then I'll go to town, and then I've got to sit under the dryer. I didn't miss the dryer. All those years that I had the bun, I would just stick it in a bun and be done with it. And now that I'm doing rollers again, I do own a dryer. So it's kind of like the black beast of the, hair world. But so it's back in my life, but we've made amends, and we're friends again.
You've made peace with it.
I've made peace with a hair dryer.
Yeah. So I'm curious, because I'm curious. I think you said things have gone really smoothly, but has there been anything that was disappointing, or like something in that entrepreneurial journey and putting yourself out there that, or you were not expecting, that was frustrating, or something that you're like, that you've learned? Because I know for many of us, we learn through disappointments and through failures.
Right. We definitely, mistakes are the best teachers. I would say that probably, I can say thank God that the journey has been, for the most part, it's pretty smooth. I'm very methodical. I'm very deliberate in my decisions and in my spending, and I'm growing at a very organic pace, and I'm very comfortable with it. I would say one of the hardest things was, building my website. Oh my gosh, that took me weeks. It took me weeks upon weeks upon weeks. And I mean, I thought, okay, this is pretty easy. Wix is pretty straightforward. You click and copy and paste, and you click and drag. But setting up the e-commerce piece, and then trying to decide how I want the optics of it to look, and what the background color is. I'm doing a revamp. I'm doing a reboot of my website. It's been 2 years since I've had the business, and I wanted the color to be green. I want green to convey natural and from the earth and plant-based. So my website is green. And I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and she's helping me a little bit on the social media side. And she said, I asked her, I said, have you seen my website? She said, yeah, it's very green. And I just thought to myself, oh my gosh, okay. So I had already been in the process of redoing the new website. In fact, I'm almost done with it. It's going to be launched by this weekend. But it was just kind of the universe saying, okay, you're on the right track, with this person who just, had made this remark about it being very green, which, when you know better, you do better. But at the time, I thought it was a good idea, and I went with it.
Yeah, but the thing is that, I mean, I think we all struggle with websites, and especially like usually in the beginning, we're doing many things ourselves,
Right.
and that is the way to go, because really, if anything, if there's money to be spent, I know for me, I would definitely say not your website in the beginning,
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I definitely.
And I think sometimes and I think sometimes people, and I mean, I know for you, for your product, because you're product based, I tend to work more with people service based.
Mhm.
You need the website. You know what I mean?
Right.
I tell you all the time, like, if you're just starting out, no, you don't need a website. But because unless you're gonna go door to door, or you're gonna keep looking for, and even then, even if you go to places, people, you may not have your whole stock with you, and
Right.
and to be able to sell to everyone all over.
I ship to all 50 states, and
Yeah,
you have
that's
to
what I was
calculate
gonna
the tax
say.
rate. You have to calculate the weight of the product for the
Yeah,
shipping,
yeah.
and the different size boxes.
Yeah,
And
it's a total different game.
it's total difference. And I definitely look forward to the time when I can go ahead and contract out. Okay, you're my social media person, and you are my marketing person. At the moment, I'm the one woman show.
Definitely, totally get that. So tell me, what would you say to somebody in my audience who's like really looking to either start their own product or start their own project, to put themselves out there, and maybe many times they are already entrepreneurs, but they're like, afraid of stepping out with this new project, with this new program, with this new product or something. What would you say to them that are dealing with the fear of, like, putting themselves out there like that?
Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I can understand if you feel apprehensive, if you fear failure, then take baby steps. Start with your inner circle, and whether it's a product or a service that you provide, start with your inner circle and get feedback from them. That's exactly what I did. Shout out to the council. I was sending my close friends, I call them the council. I was sending them the samples of the different recipes, the different formulas that I had been creating, and getting their feedback from it, and was finally able to settle on the final formula after several months. So take baby steps, enlist, the help of your friends, get feedback from people that people that you trust, and then try to expand, from there. And the beauty of it is, especially with the internet now, nothing is impossible. If you do the research, you have to take time to do your R&D. You've got to do your research and development. So if you look at, marketing, if you look at buying patterns, if you understand who your target audience is, get in their minds and find out what they're looking for, what they need, and be able to tailor it to your own message, people will really respond to it.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, and I often say, one of the things is that, it's sort of like, how are you going to feel towards the end of your life, or 2, 3 years, 5 years from now, that, how people, do you want to live in the what if I had taken this step? So if you don't want to be saying what if, then, like, just give it a go. Because anyway, the way I see it, it'll either be a blessing or a lesson, which lessons are blessings in disguise,
Worst case, if it doesn't work out, you say, okay, well, what went wrong? You identify that, you remove that from the equation, and then you just, try something different and move forward, press forward. I mean, there's a really great commercial that's on right now, and I don't know if it's airing in the Southeast. and I believe it's a Gatorade commercial. Shout out Florida Gators, go Gators. Sorry, I had to do that. It's Michael Jordan and Serena Williams, and they're saying, what is the lesson is, what's the best way to become the best, or what's the best way to be successful. And Michael Jordan says, don't make the varsity team. Serena says, be on the wrong side of the biggest upset in your sport. And I watched that game. Oh my gosh, I felt for her. I love Serena. I love you, Serena. So it's empowering. And Oprah says it all the time. She says, failure is one of the best teachers.
Yeah. I think she's the one who says something like, there's no such thing as failure.
Exactly. That's exactly it. It really, if you can change your perspective and word it differently, it can really be your fuel instead of your fear.
And that's how we learn. And that's the thing. I think a lot of times people are afraid of failure, like, because what if it doesn't work? Well, all of us, and Oprah, everyone who has made it that we sort of look up to, they've all had failures. They've all
fallen on their faces.
They didn't just get one thing and boom.
Yeah, exactly. There's a great story. I mean, the reason that WD-40, I'm a history buff and I love useless pieces of information, but the reason that WD-40 is named, I don't know what the WD is. It's a super secret squirrel patent like KFC and Coca-Cola, but basically the scientist that created it had made 39 previous attempts. He was working in the space program and they were trying to find something that would be able to withstand the re-entry of rockets back into the Earth's atmosphere. And they had tried 39 different attempts until then the 40th one was the one that stuck. So you just gotta. I'm sure that there are other stories of people who have, tried even more times than that, whether they were providing service or if they were publishing a book or whatever. So
yeah, definitely. So tell me, what do you believe the world needs more of, and if it had it, it would make a big difference?
I feel like compassion is lacking. The ability to empathize with other human beings. It's, stop looking at one another with labels. We all want the same things. We all want to live long, happy lives. We want to be healthy. We want our families to be well. We want to succeed. We all want the same things. There's more that makes us the same, that makes us different. And I like to focus on happy things and happy stories. I really don't pay attention to a lot of the division that's been created, particularly in this current climate. So it's not to say that I'm dismissing the very real and very tragic things that are happening. I just choose to sort of focus on things that confirm that we're all going to be okay, and we're going to be good. We're going to be good, but we need to unify ourselves a little more and understand that we're really all in this together. None of us is getting out of this alive. So let's at least make the trip a fun one. Let's make it a trip, where we can just unify.
Definitely. Okay, then. And what would you say that, do you believe in life purpose? And if you do you mind sharing yours with us if you found it, if you know what it is, or at least I know it sometimes it's different levels of our lives, different parts of our lives, things change, but what would you say if you found yours in a way?
Yeah, Chubby Curls has absolutely illuminated something in me that I didn't realize was there. And, it took me having that on my own experience and my own frustration, that pain point with my hair, in order to be able to leverage that and say, oh gosh, I've learned so much. And although you and I might not have the same experience, we may not have the same journey, I want to help you help yourself so that you can celebrate your hair instead of just tolerating it. Because I really want us to be able to embrace our hair more. And it's fun to have a variety of hairstyles. Hell, it's fun to wear wigs and weaves, and do you. If that is what you rock, then great. But I also want us to be more comfortable, with our own hair and understand how to make it work, because it is beautiful. It can be beautiful. Our hair is so versatile. It has so much potential. We just need to take the time to just tap into it, understand it, and just give it the TLC that it needs in order to be able to make it do what we want to do.
Yeah. So I'm hearing, in a way, I'm hearing you. I mean, I'm about to use that empower word before I'm trying to think of another word, but it sounds to me that your purpose is really empowering women and truly embracing their true selves, and also in some way kind of like playing with it. So not just, I don't know, I'm not sure what term to use, but not just
I would
go
say
about
discovering their own beauty, discovering their own beauty.
beauty. Yeah. Basically, yeah, that's what I'm okay. I love that word discover. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you say is your message to my audience that are here, like that are like basically thinking about, you know, those who are like, I'm like, I don't know, like how did you get any type of, like when you first went natural, did you type of criticism or something? Like how would you say to them, like if they were to do it, how would they handle it?
I would say that probably the biggest criticism was, you know how that negative self-talk
Oh, okay,
can,
so it was within, it was with
it
you.
was, it was within, and it was from comparison. Comparison
Mhm.
is the thief of all joy. And
Yes,
when you are trying to compare, yourself to someone else, you'll never measure up the same, because you have a different, vast abilities. You have a different group of abilities and talents and curiosities, and you're going in a different direction. So you're just never going to be doing the same thing that someone else is doing. Besides, I mean, you don't know what experiences they've had that led them to where they are. They don't know what experiences you've had that have led you to where you are. But not to get too philosophical and off the mark, the thing that I would say is that we can be our own worst enemies. And I forget who said that my mind is like a bad neighborhood. I try not to go there by myself, because you have these thoughts that can become patterns, that become these tapes that you loop, and just continue to think these they become belief systems, that I'm not going to be perceived as attractive by this particular group, or this is not the kind of hair that's desirable, or so I would say I was probably my own, and just, it's funny because if you were to say the things out loud that you think to your friends, they would look at you like you grew a second head. Like, why do you, I cannot believe you think that about yourself. What is wrong with you? Who
yeah,
told you that? And no one told you that. It's just something that you, and I'm speaking for myself. I should speak for myself, but
yeah,
I mean, I know that, it's a human experience. I'm sure that there are things that we tell ourselves. But I can tell you that certainly the standards of beauty that we see that are heavily marketed and publicized and broadcasts and grace the cover of magazines, they are beginning to look more like us, which is fantastic. I remember growing up, all I had was Whitney Houston. I mean, when she came on the scene, I lost my mind. It was great because I was running around playing Wonder Woman with my bracelets and watching
yeah.
The Bionic Woman and things like that, and Charlie's Angels. So it was really refreshing to see someone who looked like me, who was being celebrated.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
definitely. So I'm hearing, so basically what I'm hearing you say is that embrace yourself the way you are and the way you're not. Like really
absolutely.
embracing, yeah. And I
Because
think
no one
even,
can Nadjejda like you, and no
yeah,
one can
yeah,
Manushkka like me.
I know, definitely. And that's
Shout
why,
out to Lisa Nichols.
what did you say?
I said, shout out to Lisa Nichols, because she always says, if you want me to be Oprah, I can't give you Oprah, but I can
I
give you a
know,
dark
and
Lisa
actually,
Nichols.
definitely. And I remember, well, I have a big vision for my business and my life. And I remember one of my girlfriends told me once, she was like, in the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, she said, well, you'll be the next Oprah Winfrey. And I said, no, I'll be the next. No, she said to me, well, I'll share that because it's not something that I'm like hide, but my big vision is to be able to, is to provide sponsor programs for children and women in Haiti in the area
That's
of
wonderful.
education. That's like my big vision. And she said to me, oh, you'll be the Oprah Winfrey of Haiti. And I said to her, no, I'll be the Nadjejda Chapoteau of Haiti.
Of Haiti.
I'm not. You know, like
Right, absolutely.
I
That's
don't,
exactly
you know,
it.
I'm not gonna be the Oprah Winfrey of dating
Oprah
because
doesn't need someone
Oprah's
else to
already
do her. She's
taken.
doing just fine.
Yeah, I know that Oprah's taken. You know, it's like they say, be yourself, everyone else is taken.
Everyone else is taken. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I think it's sort of like the same thing with natural hair because I think sometimes people might be like, well, I'm going natural, but wait a minute, I want my hair like Manushka, or I want my hair like Nadjejda, but wait, why is my hair not like that? Because really, even with us, there are different textures of us
Absolutely.
women with natural hair, you know, and that is one of the things that people need to get as well. Like
Understand.
I
That's
remember
the
once,
homework.
yeah, I remember once at Whole Foods, but it was so funny. After this woman made a comment about what did you do to your hair, like one of my mom's relatives, who's
Mhm.
like your hair doesn't like she like my hair looked really bad. It was
Uh-huh.
ugly to her. But the thing is that so then the next day I go to Whole Foods and this girl, this black girl, the cashier is like, wow, I love your hair. She's like, your hair or my hair goes. I mean, it was a compliment to me, and I also, you know, I also hope that she gets that she may not have the same texture as me when she goes natural, and she
Right.
fully embraces her natural hair the way it is, her own texture.
I tell every natural that I come across, whether they are a client or if they are just, just asking questions, seeking advice, looking for some direction, or they're just screaming, "Oh my God, help me!" I tell them, I can only do so much, but healthy hair is twofold. It's product plus practice. So you have to have the right products, educate yourself, be an informed consumer, read the labels, look at what you're putting on your hair, and
Yeah.
make sure that these are things that are beneficial to your hair.
Mhm.
And the practice is you can't just put some you can't put on a wig for 3 months and completely ignore your hair and expect it to thrive. Your hair
Mhm.
is like a plant. It needs nourishment. It
Yeah.
requires moisture in order to grow and to maintain elasticity and so on and so forth. And you
Yeah.
have to know what works for you. Coconut oil does nothing for me. Nothing. I
Yeah.
mean, coconut
I've heard
oil,
some people say that. Yeah.
it's like the natural hair panacea. Everyone is using coconut oil. It's great for your hair. It's great for your skin. It's great if your boyfriend left you. You use coconut oil. You broke your leg. Use coconut oil. It's ridiculous. And I was using it for a long time. And I said, you know what? Okay, this is officially not working. It just would sit on top of my hair. And so I did my homework and I tried olive oil. Okay, olive oil was too heavy. Let me try another oil. And so finally, argan oil. Boom, sweet spot. That is the oil that my hair literally drinks up. It makes my curls juicy. It makes my hair bounce. It's fantastic. So
Great.
that was what was on me to go out and find, okay, which is the oil that's going to work for me.
Yeah, that's good. Great. Okay, so thank you, Manushka. This really ends the interview part. Now I want you to tell people a little bit about about your business and yourself, and also where they can connect with you through your website, social media pages. You know, go ahead and let them know more about
Thank
you
you.
and
So
Chubby Girls.
Chubby Curls Hair Butter is available online at www.chubbycurls.com. I make it here locally in Denver, Colorado. So if you are in Denver, shout out to my Mile High people. You can call me at 720-663-1143, or you can go to www.chubbycurls.com. We're also on Facebook on the Chubby Curls page. Just search for Chubby Curls on Facebook, and on Instagram and Twitter. On both of those platforms, I am chubby_curls.
Great, that's
To
awesome.
all 50 states.
What did you say? I'm sorry. That
I
part, that
ship
part.
to, I ship to all 50 states.
Great. Yeah, so you guys here, definitely. I did try it. I liked it. I actually I did a testimonial with a
Yeah,
picture of
you
my,
were on my original website, my very, very first website. I had your picture on there, and I
I
sent you
know,
the link form and everything.
I know, definitely, definitely.
Thank you for doing
Okay,
that.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, great. So thank you so much for joining me today, Manushka. This is,
Thank you so much for having me and giving me this platform. I really, really appreciate it, particularly as a new business, an opportunity to gain more exposure and to engage with a new client base. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
yeah, and thank you for sharing and giving value to my audience. And I hope you all enjoy this. All her info will be below the video on my website, and pretty soon will be on iTunes as well. So people will be able to listen to that episode as well there. If you enjoy this and you don't want to miss any other episodes, and you want, every Thursday I come out with a new one, please subscribe to my email list below. You can find below on my website, you can find the box where you can put in your name, email address, and every Thursday you'll get the new episode delivered to your inbox, and also you'll get weekly tips and inspiration from me through video or blog posts or just a regular email. So I hope you all enjoyed it. I know I did. Thank you. Love and light. Until next time.